James Fries from Overtime Heroics MMA. I'm here this morning with Dominic Gibbs, CEO of UK Cage Steel MMA promotion. How's things do, Dominic?
I'm good. You know, kind of strange times, but keeping positive. So yeah, all right.
Yeah, for sure. Everything's a bit up in the air at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll get straight into it there, mate. How did Cage Steel come about?
Wow. So myself and a guy called Danny Mitchell. Danny Mitchell's been like UFC, a couple of appearances in there. We started a gym back in like 2005 when MMA in the UK was kind of new, and we said let's put a promotion on, and the gym kind of struggled along, didn't really get going because people, you know, there weren't many fighters about then. So we kind of had to break it up and go into our own areas, and we kind of lost touch for a while. And I finished my real job. I was operations manager at a local authority, and I'd not seen Danny for a while. I'd left there. I'd set up a facilities management company. I was doing well. Bumped into Danny again. I'm like, mate, why don't we do that promotion that we always said about? And that was it. You know, we kind of started as CSFC. And we got Cage Steel as our main sponsor, so it was Cage Steel Fighting Championships. And then eventually I bought Cage Steel off the then owner. It started out as a kind of fightwear, you know, clothing and fightwear brand. So I bought that out to take the name. So now we are just Cage Steel. December 2011 was the first show, and we're now 25, I think. I think we've done 27 with 2 contender shows. So, yeah, a while now.
Yes, it's going really well. Like I've gone over a couple of the events recently, and there's some really good fights get put on there as well. To be fair, what was it that actually got you interested in running a promotion to begin with?
Do you know what? I don't really know. We were doing the gym, and I'm a bit like, take risk, you know. I am a risk taker. So myself and Danny were talking. And said, "Oh, we should put a promotion on." He kind of talked about a local leisure centre. Me being me, I'm like, "No, let's do the Dome," which is kind of a big thing. It's like 2,000 people, and someone actually beat us to it. They started promoting there first, and they did really well considering the kind of climate. You know, there weren't that many people into it. They did really well, but then they kind of closed the promotion down, and I just wanted to do a show, and it was, I don't know what kind of brought it on. I did a bit of like mind stuff with a guy called Brian Main, who's like down from Tony Robbins. He did this thing while I was at the council. He's like, concentrate on the thing that you want, you know, did all this stuff. And I drew something, and it wasn't until like a lot later on that I realised that I'd drawn the arena that we were kind of did last year. Yeah, we did last year. So it was kind of strange, you know. It must have been something going on in the subconscious mind.
Yeah, so it was always in the back of your mind then.
Yeah.
Obviously, all dependent on what's going on in the country at the moment. Your latest show is due to be on the 22nd of August. As you just mentioned, it'll be at the Dome in Doncaster, Cage Steel 25. I bet you're really looking forward to that, really, especially with the last few months we've had, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like keeping fingers crossed. I'm always a really positive person anyway. I'm probably annoyingly positive, to be fair. You know, I'll always see the kind of glass half full, you know. So, you know, we moved it from July the 4th. That's our original date that we booked from the start of the year. But we realised that I don't think gyms will be open in time to allow the fighters to have the kind of fight camp. So straight away we moved it to August the 22nd to give us that bit more time. And who knows, you know, we're kind of in uncharted seas, and it'll be what it'll be. And if it doesn't happen on August 22nd, we'll kind of lift and shift it to either September or October. And worst case, it'll just become our December the 5th show. So, you know, we might lose out on a show this year. We might not. But we'll do everything that we can to make sure that we still do 3 shows this year. And, you know, we'll do it as best that we can. And I've got an amazing team who just literally, they kind of buy into the whole thing about Keisha. Keisha is nowhere like just me. You know, like I might be the CEO, but I'm nothing without these guys. They are an incredible team, and I know that whatever happens, they will adapt to it, and we'll give the kind of fans the best that we can give. So yeah, I'm still really positive about August 22nd. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that one. Obviously, one of the big fights that's been introduced for that one at the moment is the British Amateur Featherweight title between Moji and Mosa Christian.
Yeah.
You're looking forward to that one, I expect. And
yeah, absolutely.
What do you expect from it?
What do I expect?
Yeah.
I tell you what, you look at those two guys, both of them are so hungry to like make this their career. And look at the shape they're in. Those two guys stay in shape literally every single day. I don't think either one of them ever eats a chip in their life. You know, it's kind of great. Their physique is incredible, and the stories I hear from both kind of gyms that they train at is that they are literally on this all the time. You know, they're training so hard for this fight. I think they both wanted it a while ago, and I can't remember what happened, but it didn't come about. And obviously now it has. I mean, we were still in like the early stages of lockdown when I kind of contacted both fighters and said, listen, you both kind of intimated doing this fight. Is this something you want to do? And I'm literally, both fighters were just like, yeah, absolutely, I want this. So, yeah, we're just going to do it. Like, that is a great fight. If you look at the two guys, there's sort of styles kind of, you know, who's going to fight what fight, who's going to do what. It's very interesting. I'm buzzing for that
fight. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've gone back to some tapes of both fighters recently. Obviously, I recently spoke with Moji and I've got an interview coming up with Musa now tomorrow, actually.
Cool.
So I've done a little bit of background research into them, and as you say, but for amateurs, I mean, the stage that they're at, I mean, surely I would have thought this is going to be roughly their last amateur fight. As you say, they're both in fantastic shape, both got great skills. I mean, for an amateur title fight, that in itself could be one of the fight of the night contenders for you, definitely.
Absolutely. Like you say, you know, that fight doesn't kind of, you wouldn't have thought that that's an amateur fight. That is a real classy fight, and if that was a pro fight on any of the best cards, then you know everyone would kind of buy into that. And I don't know how long they'll stay at amateur. I think both of them would kind of like to start throwing elbows. You can see that they're kind of eager to throw elbows and stuff. So I'm sure they'll be turning pro, like you say, fairly soon. Obviously, depending on their coaches or managers or what happens, whether they keep them back or not. But they definitely want to push this in their career, so it'll be a good fight.
Yeah, obviously, as you said, you've got a great team around you. But being the main man yourself, what sort of difficulties do you sort of endure through running your own promotion?
The early days, the biggest like stress thing was fighter pullouts. Like when we first started doing shows, I literally like, oh God, it used to drive me crazy. I'd be like, nah, like going crazy. And you know, now that's part of our sport. Right? So I look at it like this: I wake up every day and I do something that I love. So when those days come when there's something that's kind of not right, I think, you know what? Most people's jobs, they have something that they kind of don't like doing. That's always a bad thing for them. That's our kind of bad thing, and you know I kind of accept it now because it is what it is. You can't change it. If someone's injured, they're injured, and you just got to go into that mode and replace it. Danny Mitchell is a great matchmaker, so he kind of puts the stuff together, and he can pull a fight out of his back pocket. Seriously, you think, oh no, you know that's done, and he'll pull something else out that literally works, and you end up with an amazing fight, you know, and it still works. So that's probably the biggest kind of challenge. Don't get me wrong, the coronavirus is a big challenge for people. and it's certainly been testing. I obviously want to support my staff. I can't say I've got a great team and then not support them. So I'm kind of making sure that everyone's wages are covered, and that does create sleepless nights. But you know, that's the job. Like I say, I can't come to work every day and love what I do without having the odd thing that you don't like seeing my accountant. I hate those days, you know. But we all have bad days in our kind of work career. I'm just blessed that most of my days are doing something I love.
Yeah, I mean, my initial reaction to you is you clearly are a fan of MMA as well. Yeah. So obviously, as the guy that overlooks everything, what's been your favourite event you've put on so far? Because obviously, as you say now, you're on Cage Steel 25 coming up, and you had the 2 contender ones. What's been the one that you sort of look back on as the one that you feel you take the most from them?
I think you know, every event has kind of been special for me, but I think the obvious one would have to be the Sheffield Arena. It was something that came about. So I'm 48 now. So when I was 17 years old, I was due to attend Hillsborough, Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest 1989 Cup final. I got ill, sold my ticket, kind of, you know, 30 years of thinking, well, I should have probably been there. I always make sure that I go to the grounds on the 15th of April. And I've always kind of wanted to do an arena. And a couple of years ago, I just thought, you know what? I class myself as being lucky that I didn't get caught up in Hillsborough, and I could have probably lost my life there. So kind of owe it to myself to take those risks and do something that I want to do as a dream. And you know, doing Sheffield Arena was a big thing for us. We did like 4,200 people across the day. We did 2 shows in one day. We had some great people there, some great fights. I'd have to say that's my kind of defining moment at present. But you know, I thought that was my dream, and it wasn't until it panned out. You know, running in the stadium and that kind of morning when it was day of the fight, looking at how big it was, that was incredible. But afterwards, that wasn't my dream, and there's so much more that I kind of want to achieve. So yeah, but stay tuned.
I mean, it's great to hear that even after doing so much, you've still got that ambition and drive to go forward even further. Because you know, a lot of people possibly would have stayed stagnant and just been happy with what they was doing. But the fact that you've got that drive is probably a testament as to why Cage Steel is doing as well as they are, really.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a very driven person. I've been kind of lucky in my life. My dad was ex-forces. My mum's my driving force. My mum, you know, I watched my mum when my mum and dad split up. One parent family, you know, we had nothing, and I wanted a guitar for Christmas. And my mum went out and she was working 3 jobs. She was plucking turkeys. She was cleaning offices. It was ridiculous, the work that she was doing to buy me this guitar. And I saw the work ethic, the drive, the passion, the ambition. You know, my mum always says to me, you have those bad days. And my mum always used to say, when you're having a bad day, you just grab yourself by the bootstraps and you pick yourself up and you carry on. And she has been my kind of driving force. She's an amazing woman. She's 88 now, and she's like so strong, like such a powerful figure in my life. So yeah, that's where my drive comes from. Still
keeping you on your toes at 88 then, mate?
Mate, I'm still scared of it. Like, I've never swore in front of her. She never hears me swear, you know. I love the woman to bits. Yeah, I still say to people, she'll come in and she'll say, I want to clean the office. I'm like, Mum, you're 88, but gives her some purpose. It's something she wants to do. And like, no one would back up my mum. She's a character. Been through the war, you know, the kind of different mentality.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's great. That is. I'm going to put you on the spot with this question.
Oh, okay.
Who would you say is the fighter that you've currently got that's got the most potential to really step up to the big level?
I think the closest at the minute is Adam Bramall, and that's why we gave him the golden contract. You the 5-figure contract that no one's really done in UK MMA. I seriously think this lad has the potential to be on the biggest scene probably within 12 months. He's like the closest to it. But there are fighters coming through that, you know, they're showing potential of actually getting there. Your Louis Lee Scotts, you know, these kind of people, they are impressive in what they're doing. Louis is only a young lad. He's got a lot to learn yet. But Adam is definitely like the closest to breaking through.
Yeah, this is a real quality fighter. I remember watching the last fight that he did, was, I think it was Cage Steel 24, was it?
Yeah.
Absolutely superb performance. Was it after that or before that he was given the contract? I forget.
It was before that, yeah. So.
But you definitely got his money worth for our one anyway, didn't he?
Yeah, you know, the kid was a tough kid. We flew him in from Madrid, which was touch and go because obviously the virus was breaking out. I think he got the last flight out of Madrid, and the only flight that left the UK and actually landed in Madrid was his flight. So we got lucky with him. I thought I was going to be looking after him for a few weeks, but he did get home. Adam's performance in that was he was professional. You know, he was very clinical. The lad was a tough kid. I mean, Adam hit him with an amazing head kick, and he went down and then up kicked Adam in the head. It was like he was a tough guy, tough lad, and Adam just like very professional, very calm. Took the fight and took him apart really. So very convincing win.
Yeah, he was definitely a brilliant performance, that's for sure. Obviously, again, your last event, you actually had Frank Mir making a few runs and do some bits for you. How did that even come about to begin with, and what sort of experience was that? I mean, because the guy is a legend in himself. I think most MMA fans for outside of the last 10 years then would know exactly who he is.
Yeah. So the coronavirus fell good for us that day. I basically got a call that said Frank Mir was supposed to. He'd been doing some seminars in the UK, and he was supposed to fly out to, I think it was Azerbaijan, and the flights and the seminars got cancelled because of the virus. Frank was obviously stranded a little bit, and just threw out a call of, "Do you want me to do some commentary?" I mean, you don't pass up that opportunity at all. I mean, like you say, what an absolute legend of the sport. Yeah, and such a humble guy, you know, the amount of people that he took photos with, he had time for everybody. It was a very, very humble guy. Really, really, like, what a pleasure to have that guy on the show and kind of do that stuff. And his commentary was like, a lot of people have commented to me saying, particularly the kind of casual fan who are coming into the sport but don't know a lot about the sport yet, they were saying the insight that they would get from Frank's commentary about what was happening and what they were trying for. And a lot of the fighters that actually had Frank Mir commentate on their fight were saying, you know, I've learned a lot from him commentating on my fight and what they should work on. So you can't buy that experience, you know, that is earned. It's sweat equity. So, yeah, amazing.
Yeah, I mean, talking about buying the experience, he's just sort of opened the door to move into commentary full time, or maybe have a fight or two back. Any chances of him making an appearance at Cage Steel again?
Never say never. Obviously, as soon as I saw that story break, I was kind of doing the maths really. There's some big numbers in there though. There's some seriously big numbers in terms of the fight game. We're keeping our options open. You'd be crazy to not want Frank Mir to be on your show, either as a fighter or as a commentator. So yeah, it's something that I'm happy to look at.
Yeah, I mean, caught me off guard when I first seen it was announced. I got to be honest, Frank, where did that come from? You know, but and as you say, I mean, he added something to the event.
Yeah,
I'm guessing he probably brought in a few more eyes maybe as well. But as you say about the commentary, what I took from it was a typical professional fighter's commentary. And then someone that's been there, he understands the ins and the outs, knew exactly what was going on. It was as if he almost knew exactly what was going through the fighter's minds at the time as well, which, as you say, you can't buy that. I mean, the average person trying to commentate is not going to get that at all. Going forward then for Cage Steel, what's your ambitions? Where would you like to see Cage Steel in 5-10 years time, maybe?
Kind of got ambitions. I'm like, do I actually give them up now? I want to do an arena again. I'll probably look to do. We was going to do one in 2020. We signed a really good sponsor in Low Six who are a betting app. They do like pool betting, and to be able to work systems out, we kind of work with them to consolidate and do 3 shows at the Dome instead of 1 show at the Dome. The July show should have been at the Arena and then back at the Dome. I got lucky because we'd have just had that show cancelled. I'd have lost a load of money at the Arena because it'd have been deposit lost. So that kind of sponsorship I got lucky with. So the intention was to do an Arena again this year, but we kind of put it off. So I'm definitely 2021. I want to do an Arena. And do you know what? That part of the business plan, there is still kind of parts that are open. So whether we actually become an arena show that travels around like the others have done, or whether we make the Dome our Coliseum, make people come to the Coliseum and make that the kind of fight arena, they're still kind of open. I obviously want to be competing with the best in the UK at least. I want to be up there. I want to be number 1. I'm no good at number 2. I don't like it. So it's like I'm always kind of driven to be the best. And we've got some great promotions in this country and some great promotions in the world. And, to be able to kind of emulate what some of those are doing would be incredible. But, there is also the kind of legacy stuff. So we want to do where we can put coaches, martial arts coaches into schools, and give school children martial arts training for free. That's the kind of legacy stuff that we want to do. We want to build martial arts have been great for me. They kind of made my life. At 25 or so, I got into. I was out of martial arts for a while. I got into football violence, like stupidly. Had my season ticket taken off me. I'd gone to a few court cases and I was facing like 6 months inside. And that's not who I am. Being that person wasn't me. I was kind of living up to other people's expectations. I walked back in a gym. I just thought, right, first thing I'm going to do, and this is what we want to do for like the kids, is put respect and discipline back in my own life. And that's what I did. And that's what we want to do for like the younger people. People are struggling now. Mental health's a big thing. Obesity, self-confidence, diabetes, and then coupled with my personal view is that discipline's kind of been taken out of the world. Teachers can't discipline kids. Parents can't discipline kids. Martial arts gives you discipline. It gives you self-discipline. It gives you respect. So we kind of want to do that as a legacy thing, and we want to give back to the community. And I think that's what we'll be eventually. That's what I want to be judged on. There is a saying about you make a life by what you get, but you make. I can't remember the exact term. You make a living. Sorry, you make a living by what you get. You make a life by what you give, and it's up to us to give that back, and bring people through and increase the people that actually understand about MMA and the martial arts and the athleticism and what these guys go through in training camp. So they're the kind of legacy things that we want to do.
I mean, that would be something great to pull off as well, really. I mean, as you say, it's not just then, and it's straying away from the old original opinion that came with MMA cage fighting years back of it's like a thug sport and this and that. It's completely dragging it in the opposite direction, which for me, is only going to be good for the sport.
It's
You'll have
one of the
more
challenges.
to take it serious.
Yeah, it's one of the challenges that we faced. You asked me earlier what are the challenges we faced. Well, one of those has been getting sponsors to kind of buy into the sport, because you do come up against it where people say, oh no, it's violence, we don't want to be involved in a brutal sport, and we're literally trying to change the old cage fighting image, and we want mixed martial arts, and we kind of changed our logo and all sorts, and we've been able to work with sponsors like Nando's, and like the hoodie you're wearing now, Everlast. So yeah, good choice of jumper there. So
yeah, a little sponsorship opportunity with it.
yeah, give them a shout. So in order to work with those people, we have to coin a phrase that's relevant at the minute, we have to flatten the curve. So we have to bring it more into the MMA to the masses, if you like.
Yeah, definitely. And it's only going to help going forward for me. I mean, you're slowly but surely you can see it's being taken away from the old division then.
Yeah.
And going forward, it's going to be great. I, for one, am really looking forward to what Cage Steel are going to be putting on. As I say, the last few events in particular have been really, really good events. As you say, dragging some big names like Frank Mir was involved.
Yeah.
That's only going to help you going forward. And some really exciting times. And as you say, not quite sure if you're going to travel the country yet. I personally think I would do really well as well, because a few people I've spoken to are from all over the different parts of the country, and they do follow Cage Steel. So I don't think you'd have any problems if you did go that direction either.
Yeah, I think that that's been the whole thing, is let's build this audience first. Lots of people knew about Cage Steel as a clothing brand. That was all over the world. You've had like Misha Tate and Michael Bisping and all these guys, wear this product. So our name is kind of known. We just got to get them to know about us as what we do now, and then, like you say, it's choices then, and we'll take those decisions as they kind of come, and we'll see where we go with it. We fly people in from all over the world anyway to Doncaster. So, if it was, we make this our kind of Colosseum. Everyone travelled to Rome to fight. We didn't go all over Italy. So there's options for us, and I want to do what's best for us and for the fans and for the sport. And we've got to kind of look at that as how the sport kind of evolves and see where we are. I think it'd be difficult to say, yeah, 2025, I want to be doing this. 2025, we'll see what happens and see how things evolve, and how we as a company do. And hopefully these fans buy into what we're trying to do for them. We are literally about fans. That's the one thing we've got so much passion for. Fans and fighters are our biggest thing. Cage Steel as a clothing brand its motto was made for fighters by fighters, and we want to kind of. I always think I think criticism of like the UFC would be the disparity between the kind of lowest fighters and the highest Conor McGregors. I think the pay disparity in there is big, and I kind of want to do an organisation that we share that stuff. These guys, everyone that fights on our show, they're basically our partners. So we've got to kind of work with them, and then work with us, and then everyone wins. And at the end of the day, if we all put on a better job, and like working with yourselves, it builds the fans, and the fans get something that's that they can love. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, look, Dominic, I appreciate you giving up your time this morning. Wish you all the best with Cage Steel going forward. I really hope the 22nd of August comes along. I'll put the link to the ticket sales in the description as well on YouTube for anyone interested. Jump on there, have a look, get your tickets, and hopefully it does all go ahead, mate.
Yeah, it's, fingers crossed.
Yeah, definitely. Well, look, Dominic, thank you for your time, mate, and I hope to speak again soon.
Yeah, no problem. We'll catch up soon. We'll catch up after the show, baby.
Yeah, definitely. Have a recap of the show.
Yeah, sound. All right, James. Take care.
Brilliant.
Stay
Thank you,
healthy.
mate.
Bye, mate.